Hi, everyone. My name is Hunter LeClaire. I am Gloucester County's Tourism Marketing and Events Manager, and I am here with my coworker and my good friend, Susan Ammons. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Hunter. How are you?
I'm good. We wanted to try something new, and it might be kind of silly and it's a little bit intimidating. Um, and maybe no one else finds this interesting. Maybe it's just good practice for us to kind of get our ideas out and do some public speaking, and just kind of really document our process as we are doing and trying to grow tourism in Gloucester County. So, we wanted to try out and see how we felt about documenting this through a podcast. So, I have Susan with me. Susan, you want to tell me a little bit about your job and kind of what your day to day looks like?
Sure. I also want to say that I think everyone's going to listen to this because it's interesting and I love our job. I am with Parks, Recreation, and Tourism, and I do our marketing for not only tourism but also Parks and Rec. And it'll be actually 4 years for me next week on Monday, which is exciting.
On Monday.
On Monday.
Oh, I'm your supervisor and I didn't have that anniversary in my calendar.
A great way to start the week. And it's been a really fun 4 years. I've done a lot of different things, and this is technically my first podcast where I'm not just a guest once a year. So
Yeah.
it's exciting.
I mean, if this goes well, maybe we'll try to do it more often. We've been talking about a lot of different things to explore with the podcast. One is just kind of the office environment, being a young professional, a young woman, growth, professional development, building each other up and supporting one another and learning. But also, we have a kind of unique situation with Gloucester because we are right beside Richmond and Newport News and these really busy communities that have a lot going on for tourism. So there's a lot of opportunity, but Gloucester also has kind of a small town feel. And so, how do you navigate tourism specifically in a rural community that honors kind of our heritage and where we come from?
Yeah, and I think a podcast is good too because there's only so much that we can put into like a post on social media. So being able to just talk about our process is a lot easier than trying to explain to everyone what goes into our work on the back end in a post. At some point, people are not going to read a long thing, but maybe they want to listen to us instead.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of maybe mis misconceptions about what we do where I don't know, this podcast isn't really targeted for like public information, like our standard advertising that we want the public to know. It's not going to be all pretty wrapped up in a bow, but I feel like there's also a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I think an outlet for those that are interested and want to know the behind the scenes working would care about.
I think so too.
Yeah. So one thing that I've kind of noticed, so I've been with the county for a year and a half now about I've done two daffodil festivals. We've brought some new events online, but obviously I'm still really new. My background before this, I grew up in Gloucester. I live in Gloucester. I love Gloucester, but I worked at a nonprofit for a long time before this. And so my technical training for tourism is a little bit lacking, I guess.
So is mine, so it's okay.
Well, that's not how I wanted it to come out, but I'm thinking like, I have a lot of experience in different concepts, but obviously I didn't get my degree in hospitality, or something like that. And you didn't either, right? You did more.
No, I have a degree in cybersecurity.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that could be important.
Yeah.
It is helpful. But I came from real estate marketing.
Hmm.
And I was thinking about this the other day about how I was doing tourism marketing in real estate and I didn't know I was doing it. It was a much smaller scale. Like my vision for my marketing for real estate was, here's this house. I want people to come buy this house. What's around that I can promote to get people to also like the community they're moving into? And so I was kind of doing it on a very small scale without knowing I was doing it,
Yeah.
which is cool. But no, I do not have a degree in this.
Well, that's funny because some of our biggest champions, at least like on Facebook, are local realtors.
They were amazing.
Shout out Brooke.
Yes,
um,
Brooke for sure.
yeah, so that's really cool, and I agree that it's. I mean, in tourism, we kind of want people to like go home afterwards, right? Like we want you to come and spend money and be in a hotel. But those same assets of the parks and the events and the downtown and good shopping and dining, that's all also what makes Gloucester a great place to live.
Correct.
Yeah. So, since our backgrounds are a lot different, I at least feel, and tell me how you feel, I feel like when I'm looking at kind of like what's trending or what do we want to do, rather that's a marketing campaign, an event, how our posts look, what is the voice of Visit Gloucester, some of it kind of feels like a gut reaction. Like there's no real training that comes and they're like, hey, what's really trending right now is like soft pastels, no more emojis. Like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of it just comes from us being online and like absorbing all of that content.
No, I agree. I mean, we live on social media. We are surrounded by it every single day. And for us to stay up with trends, we have to, one, notice when they change, and two, we need to determine, hey, is this trend something that we find is appropriate and we want to roll with it? And trends don't last but so long, so we have to jump on the trend or not.
Yeah.
And so it has to be a gut reaction. It has to be a quick one, because if we wait, we're old news and no one thinks it's funny or entertaining anymore. So you're right. I think, we are surrounded by ever changing trends, and some of them we do not do because they are either not appropriate or
Susan
they don't fall in line.
We have to max out at a 3 spicy chili pepper. That we're not allowed to do the 5 spicy chili peppers.
It would have to be something that would get us like 1 million views for me to go above a 3 spicy.
And you can't predict that. I mean, so just like raw energy here. What type of, and so like views, we would have to pull those, but I know that like I look at likes. If we post something really great and I'm like, oh my gosh, we have 3 likes. Oh my gosh, I came back 30 minutes later and now we're at like 30 likes. Tell me about like when you get really excited, like how many people are looking at our stuff. What do you think does well or not?
I mean, of course I look at likes. Likes are great. I also like to look at shares. If the shares are really, really high, then I get excited because I know that, one, we're not putting money on it. That is organic sharing. So people think it's cool enough to share with their people.
Yeah.
So it's not just, oh, I like that, and that's one person. If 50 people are sharing it, 100 people are sharing it, that's reaching a ton of other accounts. So that means we're doing something right. I don't know. I feel like a like is one thing, and then a share, you have to have a little bit more effort to do that.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Well, and a share is gonna like, it's gonna show up on my own personal page. Like I am putting my name to that, where like a like, no one else is really gonna see it. So that's kind of interesting. And I know that I've made some stuff for you to review, and like I thought it was gonna be like really great, and it wasn't. And then other stuff, I'm like, this is just average potatoes, and I mean, it'll get like 20 shares, and to me, that's really exciting for something that I didn't think was very special.
That has happened to me more times than I can think. I get very excited about something, and then I put it up, and like 2 people like it, and it's like my family.
Yeah.
And then there's stuff that we put up that's kind of, I don't want to say boring, but it's just like informational, not that exciting, and people go bananas over it.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to judge what is going to do really well and what's not. We just have to make sure that we are staying on trends, make sure we're staying on brand, and not putting up anything that is super spicy.
Yeah. I think that's what's really hard, and that I've kind of been tasked with making a marketing plan. And part of that marketing plan, I think, is identifying our voice, which I think that our voice is different in a lot of ways, but I also think that it's really similar. Like, I would be curious to have a third party go through our page and say, like, Susan put this up, Hunter put this up. Because I think sometimes you probably couldn't tell. And not because
No.
ChatGPT wrote it for each of us, but I think we have a
No.
solid voice between the two of us. And I think the blend feels really good for Gloucester.
I think so. And you also don't want it to always look the same. So I'm thankful that we're both in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for 2.5 years, 3 years, I was the only person doing it. And I had heartburn when I was like, hey, you need to let someone else in there. I was like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah, I think you told me that you lost the password at first.
I did. I found it when you had been here a while.
Once you found trust in me, you found your password.
I did. I was like, that is my life. And I just don't let everybody in there. But then I was like, this is also Gloucester County's, not my own. So I can't hold it hostage forever. But I think it's cool. Like, you put stuff up, I put stuff up. It's not drastically different. So it's like, who in the world did this? And it always looks good.
I also feel like it's necessary for us to both be in there because it is so overwhelming. Like, I'm thankful that our job is fun, right? Like, it's interesting. We love Gloucester. We're already online a lot, but it never really ends. So, like, when you're scrolling, like doom scrolling at 9:30 at night, and you see that Gloucester Brewery is having their big event on Sunday, and like you have to share it. But I mean, there's been stuff that like you'll send me or I'll send you, and like we haven't already seen it. And so, just to continuously comb, and yeah, we use stuff like Google alerts and make sure that we're not missing those opportunities, but I feel like you could spend 24 hours a day and still find content.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I used to do that. Maybe not 24 hours worth, but I mean, I have found that I have just scrolled because I was afraid of missing things.
Yeah.
So now that I know I have two more eyes, that's super helpful.
Okay, so tell me about the flip side. As you're like scrolling and trying to find things and you're like counting the likes, how do you deal with stuff that you see that you get kind of annoyed about? Like, oh, she's making a face. Like, what is she gonna say? So, like, I mean, obviously, putting on events and doing big stuff like that, it is reaching an audience of 5, 10, 20,000 people, and people have opinions, and online opinions are really loud. So, like, um, I mean, everyone gets negative feedback sometimes, like, ooh, this was lame, or like, the vendors weren't great, or I didn't know about this despite you putting $500
That's the worst one.
on it for the past week. But tell me about kind of that process when you see something that you're like, ooh, that doesn't feel good.
So when I first started, I took every single one of those comments to heart.
Yeah.
And when you're with local government, you cannot just respond.
My tax dollars.
Yeah, you have to think about what you're going to say when you respond, if you do at all. And I used to take those to heart big time. And then I realized that one, we cannot throw an event that absolutely is going to be what everybody wants. And that's why we try to do events now that are different. That way, maybe we'll reach different people and everybody will be happy. And so, yes, I see those comments. I see people who are like, I didn't know about this. As long as I know that we have put it out as much as we can, I can kind of look past those.
Yeah.
I cannot guarantee that it is going to reach everybody's Facebook page or everybody's social media. I just can't. But I want to make sure that we are putting forth our best effort to where everybody knows. So as long as I know we did that and that we put on an event or a program that was top notch, I can kind of look past those.
Yeah.
Now, if I feel like we didn't do as well as we could have, maybe there was a reason. I mean, some people are just upset because it rained. Well, I can't help that it rained. So I will respond to those and just be like,
damn it, Jackie, I can't control the weather.
Yeah, I am sad that it was canceled too. A lot of work went into that. And I'm more than happy to respond to those people because we are bummed too. Like, we share the pain that they have. But sometimes people are just grumpy.
Yeah.
And they need to get it out. And we just keep scrolling.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. There's like so many different things that I want to cover in a podcast. What We probably shouldn't be like over 20 minutes.
I don't know. We're at 16:46.
Yeah. I mean, I want to
I
ask
also feel like we could talk for 24 hours.
Because we do.
Because we do already.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody else wants to hear that, though.
Well, I think that this is a good start, and I'm hopeful that maybe other people have feedback for us, because I want to ask you what other communities you envy and try to, like, you pay attention to their stuff. Like, for me, I love, like, the coastal Maine. Like, I feel like a lot of their videos go really viral, and they're just aesthetic. And so we've tried to recreate some of that. I like that voice. I also want to talk about the in and outs of events. Like, obviously, we have the carnival coming up, and there's a lot of
be a whole podcast within itself.
Yeah,
probably multiple.
Yeah, so events and like how we choose talent. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about kind of like office dynamics. I mean, tourism through the county is a lot different from tourism through like a chamber or a main street and things like that. There's also a lot of other women in our field and in our community that I really look up to, and I think that they have a really strong voice online, and I'm curious to hear from them. So what other things kind of come to mind to you that if we had all day, we would sit here and talk about?
Events is definitely one of them. That, just since you have gotten here, we have been able to do way more events. And even if they're not, physical events, we've done secondhand Saturdays. We've done things that are just marketing events that we had not done before. So definitely the back end of that, because I do think the public doesn't quite know everything that goes into that.
Yeah.
That is, our biggest event, the Daffodil Festival. That is a year-long planning. And it'll be cool to be able to talk about it and for people to really see what goes into it. Of course, I could talk about social media all day long. Our office is great. We are in here with not only Parks and Rec, but we also have community engagement. And so we all work together, and we have a good time in here, I think.
Yeah.
We're down the street from admin, so like we have our own little place to do our crazy shenanigans and hard work.
Yeah, just like the amount of supplies, our massive plotter printer, stacks and stacks of brochures when the A-frames come down for events and we're printing and laminating, or we are assembling bags, getting stuff ready for vendors, the tablecloths. Like, we have a whole attic that's just filled with supplies, and I don't know, it just feels really creative around here.
It does. And I love that, we can pull from our other side of our department for help on certain things. We help them. So we are tourism, but Parks and Rec has reached out to us for certain things, and we lend a hand.
Yeah.
And I think guests are going to be really cool, because there's a lot of awesome people in Gloucester.
Yeah.
That have a lot of great talent, and I'd like to pick their brain on some things.
Yeah. I think that this is a good forum for it. I also think about, this is one of the things that's been on our wish list for, 6 months now. And so we always have a huge wish list of projects and campaigns and videos. And we have to prioritize at some point. And there's so much that we don't actually get done, even though I'm really proud of how efficient we are. So, I don't know.
We've been asking each other to do this podcast for the past 2 days, and it's always, I have to get one more thing done. And we were nervous, and I have no idea why.
Yeah.
Because we just did fine.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes, and I'm like, we should probably stop by now. But, so, I'm excited to keep doing this, and we'll see. I think we're going to get even more comfortable with it, and hopefully this brings about some good conversations, some good ideas, just a new format to document our process and reconnect. And I don't know, I'm excited about it.
Me too. I love this.
Cool. All right, well, thank you, Susan. You have passed your interview, and you are you are now my elite employee.
Now go edit it.
Yeah, thank you. Bye. Can it be up by tomorrow?